You love your dog more than anything, but the scary truth is that some of your most common, good owner habits might be accidentally taking years off their life. From the way you walk them to the specific cleaners you use on your floors, most pet parents are making at least 3 of these silent mistakes every single day without even realizing it. In today's video, we aren't just looking at the obvious dangers like chocolate or grapes. We are diving deep into the hidden risks, the ones that build up over years until it's too late. We're talking about why your choice of scented candles is a respiratory nightmare for your pup, why free feeding is a silent killer, and why the way you let your dog jump off the couch today is setting them up for a world of pain tomorrow. Stay tuned until the very end, because the number one mistake is something 90% of owners do every single morning, and it's the leading cause of early heart and joint failure. This is Paws and Whiskers, and today we are learning how to save your dog's life. Let's start with the air they breathe. Your dog's nose is a masterpiece of evolution, containing up to 300 million olfactory receptors compared to our measly 6 million. When you spray that fresh linen air freshener or light a seasonal scented candle, it might smell like a spa to you, but to your dog, it's a chemical assault. Many common household fragrances contain phthalates and volatile organic compounds that have been linked to endocrine disruption and even cancers in small animals. Because dogs spend so much time near the floor where these heavy particles settle, they are breathing in concentrated doses of chemicals that our human lungs barely notice. If you see your dog sneezing, squinting, or licking their paws excessively after you clean, your fresh scent is the culprit. Switching to pet safe, essential oil-free alternatives isn't just a luxury, it's a longevity requirement. Next, we have to talk about the power walk trap. Are you someone who takes your dog out for a strict 30-minute cardio session where you drag them along if they try to stop? If so, you're accidentally stressing them out. For a dog, a walk isn't just about physical steps. It's about reading the news with their nose. Rushing them through their sniffari causes a spike in cortisol, the stress hormone. High cortisol levels over a long period lead to a weakened immune system and systemic inflammation. When you deny them the chance to sniff, they stay mentally frustrated, which often leads to destructive anxiety-based behaviors at home. A 15-minute walk where your dog gets to sniff every fire hydrant is worth significantly more for their mental health and lifespan than a 60-minute sprint where they never get to use their brain. Let them lead the way. Their nose knows what they need. Now, let's look into the kitchen. One of the biggest silent killers in the dog world is free feeding, leaving a bowl of kibble out all day for them to graze on. While it seems convenient, it's a recipe for disaster. First, it leads to invisible obesity. Even being just 10% overweight, which is hard to see under a thick coat, can take 2 full years off a dog's life. It puts immense pressure on their heart and kidneys. But more importantly, if your dog is a grazer, you lose your most important diagnostic tool, their appetite. In the wild, a dog that doesn't eat is a dog that is seriously ill. If you have set meal times, you will know within 12 hours if your dog is feeling off. If you free feed, you might not notice they've stopped eating until they've been sick for 3 days. Transitioning to scheduled meals allows you to monitor their health with precision. Speaking of food, we need to address the human snack habit. We all love sharing a bit of our crust or a piece of cheese, but the cumulative effect of sodium and processed fats on a dog's pancreas is devastating. Pancreatitis is an incredibly painful and expensive condition that is almost entirely preventable. A single piece of bacon to a small dog is the caloric and fat equivalent of a human eating 2 entire hamburgers. Over time, these small treats cause fatty deposits around the heart and liver. If you want to share your life with them, share a piece of plain carrot or a slice of apple instead. Your dog doesn't care about the flavor profile of your pizza. They care about the interaction with you. We also have to discuss the micro-trauma of the jump. Think about how many times your dog jumps off the couch, out of the high SUV, or races down the stairs. For breeds prone to hip dysplasia or IVDD, like Labradors or Dachshunds, these repetitive impacts are like tiny hammers hitting their joints. By the time your dog reaches their senior years, they aren't slowing down just because of age. They are in chronic grinding pain because of those thousands of jumps in their youth. Invest in a ramp or simply lift them down. It feels like a small thing now, but it's the difference between a 10-year-old dog who can still go for walks and one who can't stand up without crying. Beyond the physical, we have to look at the psychological silent killer, chronic boredom. Many owners think a backyard is enough, but to a dog, a backyard is just a large crate without a lid. If your dog spends all day staring at the same four fences, their brain begins to atrophy. This leads to stereotypic behaviors, compulsive pacing, tail chasing, or excessive licking, which actually alters their brain chemistry and spikes their adrenaline levels permanently. High adrenaline isn't just a behavior issue. It causes long-term strain on the heart muscle. To truly extend your dog's life, you need to provide enrichment. This doesn't mean expensive toys. It means hide and seek with their kibble, or stuffing a cloth with treats for them to dissect. Keeping their brain sharp keeps their body young. A dog that is mentally challenged every day has a significantly lower risk of developing canine cognitive dysfunction, essentially doggy dementia, which is one of the leading reasons senior dogs are prematurely put down. Now, let's talk about the weekend warrior syndrome. This is where a dog is a couch potato from Monday to Friday, and then on Saturday, you take them for a 5-mile hike or a 2-hour game of fetch. This is a recipe for a torn ACL or a ruptured disc. Imagine if you sat at a desk for 5 days and then tried to run a half marathon without warming up. Your dog's muscles and tendons lose their elasticity during the week, and the sudden, high-intensity explosive movements on the weekend create micro-tears that never fully heal. This leads to chronic inflammation, the secret enemy of longevity. If you want to go big on the weekends, you must keep them moving for at least 20 minutes every single weekday. Consistency is what protects the joints, not intensity. We also need to address water quality. Most owners fill their dog's bowl with tap water and forget about it. However, dogs are far more sensitive to chlorine, lead, and fluoride than humans are because of their smaller body mass. If your tap water has a high mineral content, it can lead to the formation of urinary crystals and bladder stones, especially in smaller breeds like Yorkies or Schnauzers. If you wouldn't drink the water sitting in that bowl for 2 days, your dog shouldn't either. Wash the bowl daily to prevent biofilm, that slimy layer of bacteria that grows on the surface. That slime is a breeding ground for bacteria that can cause life-threatening infections if it enters a small cut in the mouth. Next is the summer trap. We often think that if we're okay in the sun, our dogs are too. But remember, your dog is wearing a permanent fur coat and doesn't have sweat glands like you do. They cool down almost exclusively through panting. If the humidity is high, panting becomes inefficient, and their internal temperature can skyrocket in minutes. Heat stroke causes permanent organ damage, even if they survive the initial episode. A dog that has overheated once is statistically much more likely to suffer from it again, as their internal thermostat becomes broken. Never, ever exercise your dog when the pavement is hot enough to burn your palm, and always prioritize the shade. Finally, the biggest mistake of all, dental neglect. 80% of dogs show signs of periodontal disease by age 3. This isn't just about stinky breath. The bacteria in a dog's mouth enters their bloodstream through inflamed gums and travels directly to the heart, liver, and kidneys, causing systemic organ failure over time. Brushing your dog's teeth or providing high-quality dental chews can literally add years to their life by keeping their internal organs clean from infection. Our dogs don't have a voice to tell us when our habits are hurting them. They just love us unconditionally, even when we make mistakes. It's up to us to be their protectors. If you want to keep learning how to give your pets the longest, happiest life possible, please give this video a thumbs up so the YouTube algorithm can show it to more pet parents. We're trying to reach as many people as possible to improve the lives of dogs everywhere. Don't forget to click that subscribe button for Paws and Whiskers to stay updated on the latest pet health and behavior research. Your support helps us keep creating these deep dive guides. Tell us in the comments, what is your dog's name, and which of these tips surprised you the most? We read every single one. Thanks for watching, and give your pup a scratch behind the ears for us.